Hey guys, it's Zentatsu97 here, and this is part 3 of my How to Play Smash Ultimate guide, and today we're going to go over the disadvantage state, combo DI, and survival DI. So, let's get started. Let's discuss a little bit about the disadvantage state. Basically, the disadvantage state occurs whenever you or your opponent gets a hit on someone. So if your opponent hits you, that's when the disadvantage state starts. And it ends when either A, your stock gets taken, or B, basically you reset the neutral game. So you get back into neutral, where both opponents have no clear advantage, essentially. That's what the disadvantage is. Now, when we're talking about disadvantage, we want to talk about specifically what you as a player can do to avoid getting into disadvantage and what you can do while you are in disadvantage. So basically, to avoid being in disadvantage, you want to make sure that the moves or techniques that you're using are safe. That means safe on shield, that means low end lag, and that means non-committal. Obviously, this is not a concrete science or anything, and it's a no-brainer that you should be safe when you're approaching, when you're playing in a high-level competitive match. But at the same time, it's important to remember that the first part of not being in disadvantage is just playing well. So maintaining advantage, maintaining neutral will help you to basically alleviate the effects of disadvantage. You never need to play disadvantage until you're in there. But if you are in there, that's a whole separate process entirely. When you're in disadvantage, you have to think about a couple of different things, which I will list for you now. So, the very first thing I want to talk about is DI, or directional influence. Now, there are some pretty good videos on this by Izaw and I Smash Corner and Beefy Smash Dude, so you can go check those out. Maybe I'll leave a description in the link below, but basically directional influence is where your character goes depending on where you tilt the analog stick to. Now, it's not like complete or something, it's not like, oh, you press up and your character will go straight up, but when you're getting knocked back essentially by a move, your character will go slightly up or slightly to the right or slightly down, whichever way you're pointing analog stick essentially. And this helps to do a couple of things. This helps to help you get out of combos. Like for example, if Samus down throws you and then uses a forward air, you can DI down an air dodge, right? Or it can help you to survive certain moves, right? For example, if Mario back throws you and you think you're about to die, well, you can DI in towards the stage, and that can save you and help you survive longer, possibly even win the match. So those are some examples of combo DI and survival DI and how they can help you out in a match, essentially. Now, I wanted to talk about a couple other things. When you get hit by a move and you're about to land on the ground, there's a couple things you can do. You can use your double jump to get yourself out of tumble. You can put out a move that's fast enough to get you out of tumble. Or you can tech. And teching is basically just when you press the shield button before you hit the ground. So you can tech in place, you can tech to the side, and you can tech like to the other side as well. Or you can just kind of do nothing as well. Those are a couple of the options you have when you land. Because if you do a hard landing, then people can get a free follow-up after that. And you don't want that. That's why you have the tech option, so that you can get right back into the neutral, essentially. Now, teching does have lag, but it's still way better than doing a hard landing on the ground. So that's why it's an important technique to master. You can also tech moves off the stage. For example, if you're off stage and Chrom back airs you into the stage, you can tech that, and then you can do a get up, or you can jump, instead of just flying off the side of the stage where you usually would. Now, certain moves in this game can't be teched, like spikes can't be teched, and you can't tech berries, if I'm not mistaken. But usually speaking, if you're going to land or hard land onto the stage after being hit by a move, at a certain percent, like over 10 or 20%, you want to be teching consistently or mixing up how you jump or throw out moves so that you don't get punished. And remember, different tech can be followed. People can follow your techs in, your neutral techs can be just grabbed straight up, and your jumps and your moves can be called out and basically handled as well. So you need to be aware of that as well. Next, I wanted to talk about, I guess, the mental portion of disadvantage, and that is fear. So essentially, when somebody's putting a lot of pressure on you, and you are very afraid or very eager to get back into the neutral, there's a couple options that players like to use. Top level players have refined this so that they can mix up their options, but usually low level players, they either jump in, roll in, maybe they just jump past the person, or they throw out a hitbox. Now, the reason why that can be kind of bad sometimes is because good players know that you want to roll in or you want to jump in so that they can do just like simple moves in order to counter that. For example, if a Pikachu player throws you off stage and you jump right back in, well, they can just back air you and you're all the way back out there. Or if you jump in against a Crom or Lucina player, for example, they can just up air you. There's just situations which you need to be aware of so that you can mix up what you do in this advantage and not get caught and put into an even worse situation than you were in before. Fear makes you do these strange or like unsafe options essentially. And you need to understand that everybody's gonna have those fear panic reactions, but the good players are the ones who can control that, who understand that, and even if they do make these mistakes, they adapt and they remember not to do it again. So that's the most important thing. You're going to be in disadvantage a lot in this game, especially if you're new to the game and you are still learning. You're going to be wrecked by a lot of people. So you need to know how to play the disadvantage as well as playing the advantage. Don't get it wrong. All those hype combo videos you see, those are pretty cool as well, and they're also important. But playing the disadvantage is also an extremely important part of Smash. And if you want to get better at this game, you need to know how to play it. It is necessary. Next, I want to talk about disadvantage and stage control, specifically when you're off the ledge or when the other person has more stage to work with than you. GSM Void has made a pretty good video on stage control for Smash 4, so you can really check that out. Maybe I'll put a link in the description below for that. But basically, stage control is how much stage you have in opposed to your opponent. So if you have, like, let's say, an area this big and your opponent has an area this big, well, they have less space to work with than you do. So you can just retreat and do whatever you want or go forward and you have room to work with. But if your opponent has like a limited amount of space, then they have a limited amount of options. And that's why they want to get back in um, like really fast and quickly. And that's why stage control is very important. Because when you have stage control, you limit your opponent's options. It's kind of like if you have 5 cards in your hand and your opponent only has 3. Like they literally just have less options available to them. It's like an extreme disadvantage. And it's even worse when they're off stage. Basically, when you're off stage in this game at the ledge, you're really close to being KO'd or killed. So basically, when you're off stage, you want to make sure that approaching inside of the stage is your number one priority, essentially. So there's many ways to do this, but there's a couple ways which are pretty common. Um, when you're at the ledge, you can do a neutral get-up, right? And then just shield and see if they're going to put an attack, just power shield that parry maybe, and then get back into stage that way. Or you can jump above their attack if they're charging an F smash or something like that. Or you can be aggressive and just jump into an aerial and land inside the stage. Or you can jump air dodge. See, there's a lot of different options you can use to get off the ledge, and mixing them up is important because the more your opponent reads your options from the ledge, the much easier it'll be for you to die. Because the second they read an option from your ledge, for example, your ledge get up, like for example, let's say Mario reads your ledge get up forward throws you, and then you're Fox, right? And then you up B, and then they cape you, you're just dead. Like you're actually just gone. And that's because you didn't mix up your options well enough. And mixing up your options to the ledge is very, very important because it allows you to survive longer and play the neutral and be an advantage in the future. It gives you more opportunities to win the match, and that is why being at the ledge and knowing what to do with the ledge are very important things. So yeah, basically I just talked about combo DI, survival DI, and being at the ledge. Now lastly I wanted to talk about a couple characters who have good disadvantage stage, and a couple characters who have bad disadvantage stage. Some characters with fairly good disadvantage states include Sheik, Palutena, and Pichu. Some characters with fairly bad disadvantage stage include Simon, Captain Falcon, and, for example, Ridley, who is really, really big. So characters who are really small and who have really fast hitboxes or really good aerial mobility or ground mobility have really good advantage states. Case in point, Pichu. Extremely small, extremely hard to hit, has a good advantage state, has a great recovery. Characters who are very big, slow, and have a hard time putting out fast hitboxes in the air have a bad disadvantage state. Now, Smash Ultimate is different because a lot of characters have much faster movement options and faster movement speed than in previous games. So even big characters like Ridley, for example, can move around much, much faster. But that doesn't mean that they can, for example, be in disadvantage against Pichu and get down very easily because of just how massive they are. Like, Ridley's hurtbox is so gigantic that basically, even if you do air dodge or roll in or maybe even jump away, Pichu can still hit you because of just how huge the window is for him to actually hit you. Like, a lot of things which won't work on smaller or lighter characters will work on you because you're heavy, maybe because you fall faster. Those characters like Captain Falcon, who falls really fast and is fairly tall, gets comboed extremely, extremely easily. Simon, extremely tall and very, very low mobility. He gets comboed extremely easily. See, there's a pattern essentially. Sheik, character who is fairly short and fast and has many different recovery options with down B, with up B, and pretty good double jump. Really, really hard to hit. Good disadvantage. Palutena has a teleport recovery and really good aerial drift. Good disadvantage. So these are some of the things that make a good disadvantage and a bad disadvantage, for example. I hope you understand that. Okay guys, well thank you so much for watching my video today, and if you like it, please subscribe and let me know what you'd like to see next in the comments. My next video, number 4, will be about mentality, about how to improve, and about how a couple of different people have shaped mentality in Smash over the years. I think it's going to be a fun one. So join in next time, and I'll see you there.